Bronco Sport is an extremely popular product that Ford tried to make using the famous iconic Bronco name. It's a monocoque crossover that does most of the things right. And then Ford decided to make a heritage edition to remember the olden days when the Bronco was originally launched in the 70s and the 80s. They launched a few different specs of the heritage edition, and this is one of the editions we have in this blue color. Let's see how this competent crossover is. The front end of the Bronco Sport Heritage Edition looks very iconic, very retro, which is the whole theme of the car. This paint looks really good. Match that with the white grille with the red Bronco letterings. It looks very, very retro, very iconic. Ford has stuck to the theme of the retro and have killed it. The whole car just brings back the years. I know so many old people on the streets who are just staring at this car because I'm sure it brought back lots of memories for them. The blue paint with the white grille looks very good. You've got this white looking wheels. These are alloy wheels, but they look like steelies, which I think Ford has killed it. Again, it just brings back all the years. You've got this little pinstripe sort of thing on the side. It is a sticker job, but it is a pinstripe design, which again, the original Bronco had this. So Ford has done very well to keep those key elements that the original Bronco had and made it stand out then to make it stand out now in the current car. It's very nice. It's got the same boxy looks that the regular Bronco Sport has, and it's very compact on the side, but it looks very good and somehow manages to still carry that, sort of that rugged theme that the Bronco Sport originally was always famous for. You come from the boxy side, you come to the boxy rear. It has the same proportions. Honestly, the Bronco Sport looks really good. The rugged cladding from the side carries on to the rear bumper, and it looks like it can take a real beating. The two-step roof is raised in the rear, and it looks really good. It's contrasted white with this Heritage Edition, and then you have the split tailgate as well, which the glass opens separately if you need it. The badges are in the retro theme. It's the white theme, which is how it used to be in the original Bronco as well, and it contrasts really well with this blue paint. The taillights, simple and functional like how it was on the regular Bronco Sport. Again, Ford has stuck true to the retro theme and they've done well. I'm now inside the Bronco Sport Heritage Edition, and the interior is very much functional. You've got lots of physical buttons for the audio and the AC, which I love because you don't have to take your eyes off the road to make any adjustments. There is a small screen for Apple CarPlay and Android Auto, and to go through different settings as well. The interior is all matte grey instead of gloss black, which I really like because gloss black can be quite difficult to upkeep, especially over time. It gets scratches and stuff. The dashboard is all flat and boxy like how the exterior is. The whole theme has been carried inside, which I really like. It's a unique theme. You've got lots of storage options as well. So you've got some storage here to keep stuff. It can take my big phone very easily. Some storage here and a wireless charger, which is an option. 2 cup holders, some storage inside here as well. And again, it's very, very well thought, very practical interior by Ford. The steering wheel is very nice to hold. The diameter and overall the size is just perfect. The thickness is just spot on. You have got buttons for cruise control and volume, which again, very easy to use and everything. It feels very nice. Overall, it's just nice to hold steering wheel in general. One of the better ones I've held in recent times. You've got dials, so you've got analog dials and you've got a big middle screen for the MID to go through your trip meter and lots of different information that the MID has. It's very clean, very analog, very simple, and it looks good. The driving position is very nice, very commanding. So you're sitting and you have the whole bonnet line visible, so that makes it very easy to park it in tight spaces. And overall the whole theme inside is very nice, very retro, and you've got lots of blue panels as well, so that carries on to the seats as well. You've got this sort of like a tartan theme on the seat, and it's a very retro theme. These things used to be very popular when the original Bronco came out in the 70s and 80s, and Ford has done a great job of bringing it back. The seats themselves have lots of different adjustments, a little bit on the tighter side personally for especially like a bigger person like me, but again, it's very nice, very firm, and very comfortable for long journeys. I'm now in the rear of the Bronco Sport. As you can see, space is not an issue. This does not have a panoramic sunroof. The sunroof stays only till the front, but because the panoramic sunroof does not exist, the rear of the roof is carved out even more at the back, so you have way more headroom in the back. And I'm at 5'8" and I'm nowhere near touching the roof. I think 6'2", 6'3" people will easily fit in the back and have no issues in the back. The backrest is very nice. It's a bit tilted and it's not adjustable, and even the middle bench is not slidable, so it is what it is. Under thigh support is a bit on the lesser side, but since the front seats are carved out, you have a lot of knee room and a lot of place to tuck in your feet under the seat. As I said about the front, it's very practical in here, so you've got lots of storage options here. So instead of proper conventional seat back pockets, Ford has integrated this zip sort of pocket to put some stuff for both seats, which is very, very unique, and I have not really seen this in any other car. You do have a center armrest with 2 cup holders as well, and it's at a very perfect height, so rear passengers will be very comfortable. You do have a cup holder, small storages around here, and the whole blue denim tartan theme carries on to the back, and I think it definitely reminds you of the 70s. Behind the wheel of the Bronco Sport Heritage Edition, let's get the numbers out of the way. This Bronco Sport has a variety of engine options where you have a 1.5, you have a 2 liter, and you have a 2.5 or 7 liter, I'm not sure, the V6. This is the smallest one, the 1.5 3-cylinder EcoBoost engine. It produces about 180 horsepower. It is all-wheel drive and it has a 10-speed gearbox. So let's see how this compact crossover drives. Use the rotary lever to slot into drive and you set off, and you easily notice that it feels very car-like, but the driving position is very SUV-like. So you have the whole, hood line, bonnet line very clearly visible. Makes it very easy to navigate in tight spaces, tight parking spaces. You know the exact edges and the corners of the car. But the steering feels very nice, very sharp, and like every Ford, they know how to make a good steering. So it feels very, very nice in the corners, and you exactly know what the front wheels are doing. So even if you're on like like the rough stuff like slush, you know exactly what the front wheels are doing. They just feel very good. The ride is extremely good for a monocoque SUV. It rides really, really well, very comfortable, very soft, and it soaks the bumps really well. The car is running on all-terrain tires, so it's not the best tires for tarmac use, but it still rides very well. It feels so planted and it feels good at even cruising speeds at 120-ish, 110, 100, whatever. It just feels very, very planted and it feels very assuring, and you can cruise all day in this. The road noise is a bit high because of the all-terrain tires, but if you do opt for any other Bronco Sport with normal highway terrain tires, I'm sure the road noise will be even lower. Again, overall visibility and the punch, the 3-cylinder thrum is definitely there, and you do feel it, especially in cold start idles. You do definitely feel the clatter, which has been a very long time since I've last heard a 3-cylinder engine noise, I'm not going to lie. But when I floor it, and it's a bit buzzy, it's a bit boomy, and it just feels a bit archaic, it feels a bit old school, and it's adequate. It's 180 horsepower. It's not slow by any chance. This crossover will still do 0 to 100 in under 9 seconds, which is more than sufficient, more than you could ever need in day-to-day traffic. The fuel efficiency on the highway is about 6.5 to 7 liters per 100, and in the city it's going to be about 9 to 9.5 liters, which is again decent. Not class leading, but it's not the worst out there. And yeah, overall it's just a very rugged, and Ford has made the Bronco Sport to be a daily rugged with compact dimensions, and the Bronco Sport works very well with what it was set out to do. Honestly, this is one of the better driving crossovers I've driven in recent times. In conclusion then, the 2023 Ford Bronco Heritage Edition. Well, the Bronco Sport is very competent in itself. It rides well, it handles decently, it's got decent specs, and it's got decent tech as well on board. You've got a variety of engine options, and this one with the 1.5 3-cylinder isn't the best, but it's adequate. The Heritage Edition adds a lot of flair, a lot of retro theme, which Ford has been banking on since a very long time, and I think it completes the car as a whole. At around $48,000 Canadian for this Heritage Edition, it's definitely on the expensive side. But if you are in the market for buying something retro, there is nothing else that works like this.